The Legend of Saint Gióng. In the time of the Hun kings, there lived an elderly woman who had no children and spent her days alone. One morning, while tending her fields, she suddenly came upon a single giant footprint that had crushed several rows of eggplant plants. Startled, she exclaimed, "Oh, whose foot could be so large?" Curious and trembling, she compared her own foot to the mysterious print, and that very day she discovered she was pregnant. When the full term arrived, she gave birth to a plump baby boy whom she named Gióng. By the age of 3, the boy still lay on his back, crying for food without ever learning to sit, crawl, or speak a word. Meanwhile, the invaders marched into the country, wreaking havoc wherever they went, burning homes, breaking down doors, killing people, and looting. The Hun king led his army into battle many times but could not defeat them. Deeply worried, the king dispatched a royal messenger to search the land for a true hero to save the nation. One day, the messenger arrived at Gióng's village just as his mother was rocking him to sleep. Teasing him, she said, "My child, you're so slow to walk and speak. How will you ever grow up to fight for the country?" To her astonishment, Gióng looked up and spoke clearly, "Mother, have the messenger come in here at once on my behalf." He fell silent again. Both delighted and frightened, his mother hurried to tell the neighbors, who agreed it was a miraculous event, and one of them suggested, "Let us invite the messenger inside to see what the child wants." When the royal messenger entered and saw the boy, he asked, "You're only 3 years old and have just learned to speak. Why have you summoned me?" In a tone of surprising confidence, Gióng replied, "Go back and tell the king to forge me an iron horse, an iron sword, an iron suit of armor, and an iron helmet. With these, I will drive away the invaders and protect the land." Everyone who heard this was filled with wonder, believing a divine being had appeared. The messenger immediately rode back to report to the king. Hearing the news, the Hun king rejoiced and ordered his blacksmiths to gather all available iron and forge the weapons and armor as the boy requested. When the work was done, the equipment proved unimaginably heavy. Dozens of men could not budge the sword. The king had to muster thousands of soldiers to find a way to carry the gear to Gióng's home. Their efforts delayed the delivery, but at last, the iron horse, sword, armor, and helmet were brought to the village. When she heard that soldiers were hauling the iron horse toward the village, Zhong's mother ran home in fear and told her son that royal duties were no jest. The soldiers were approaching the field in full force. His announcement both calmed and puzzled her. Without hesitation, Zhong sprang to his feet and reassured her, "Don't worry about the battle, mother, but you must feed me well." Zhong's mother hurried to cook rice, but whatever pot she finished, he consumed immediately and demanded more. After each meal, he grew a bit larger and asked for more to eat. The more she fed him, the faster he grew until he became a remarkably strong young man. When the household's rice ran out, neighbors arrived with baskets of rice, sweet potatoes, buffalo meat, wine, fruits, and cakes to a courtyard piled high with provisions. Yet Zhong devoured everything and still wanted more. Next, Zhong told his mother, "Find cloth for me to wear." Villagers competed to bring him silk fabric, and tailors hurried to sew clothes. But Zhong's body grew so extraordinarily fast that every garment was too tight and too short, requiring more fabric to be stitched on the spot. Within moments, his head brushed against the roof beams. Just then, the soldiers managed to carry the iron horse, sword, armor, and helmet into the courtyard. Zhong stepped outside and stretched his limbs. In an instant, he stood tall and mighty, his legs longer than 10 feet. He let out a roar like thunder, "I am a general of heaven." Donning the iron armor and helmet and grasping the iron sword, he swung it in wide, gleaming arcs. After bidding farewell to his mother and the villagers, he leapt onto the iron horse. The horse reared and unleashed a blast of red fire straight ahead. With a kick from Zhong, the horse charged forward at lightning speed, each stride spanning dozens of fathoms. In the blink of an eye, they reached the invaders' camp, which lay scattered through the forests. Zhong's sword flashed like lightning, felling enemies by the handful as his horse's fiery breath burned the barracks and the surrounding woods to ashes. Though the king himself roared orders for reinforcements, Zhong fought with ever-growing strength until suddenly his sword shattered. Undeterred, Zhong uprooted bamboo clumps from the roadside and lashed them at the enemy soldiers. In no time, the invaders broke ranks and fled in all directions. struck by one of Zong's bamboo blows, the king fell and was killed outright. The surviving soldiers, seeing their leader dead, threw down their weapons and begged for mercy. By midday, with the captives bound by royal troops and villagers alike, Zong had saved the nation from its peril. At that moment, Zong and his iron horse arrived at the foot of Sok Sun Mountain. There he removed his armor and helmet, then rose into the sky together with his steed. After the victory, the Hun king built a temple in Zong's home village to honor the hero, granting him the title Fudong Tien Vong, Heavenly King of Fudong. Today, a chain of round ponds stretching from Kim on through Da Phuc to Soksan is believed to mark the hoofprints of Saint Zong's iron horse. The forest once scorched by the horse's fiery breath is still known as Lang Che, the burned village. Bamboo clumps that Zong uprooted and used to strike the invaders were singed by the flames, turning from green to gold with mottled scorch marks. To this day, that variety of bamboo is called Train No or Dang No, preserving the memory of his legendary deeds.